Well, hi everybody. We are going to talk today about procrastination and why we talk about this because it is a nightmare for almost every student that we are facing the deadlines about the papers, about the thesis, about any deadline that is being imposed over the long period of time. And why we talk about this? Because it is a common problem in several managers, in several academics, in several people when they delay the important activities until the last minute. And why the people delay the activities? Because they usually don't like to do that. It happens to me as well. I recall several years ago when I was attending some activities and I try to be always a bit organized. When I do that, I just pull all the activities in a list, and you know what happened? That activity that I don't want to do start to move one slot over the next slot, over the next, and over the next. It's because I don't like to do that. But finally, I need to. Then what happened? It was 2 days before when I was running on the hot, pushing me to the limits and trying to deliver the best thing that I can deliver in the last 2 days. This seminar is trying to help you how to avoid those situations, how to take advantage of the procrastination because the procrastination is positive. You can't believe how many things you can do in a period of time when you are delaying an important activity. And also, I like to share some tips and I like to show you how to improve that opportunity that you will have. Let's start with the presentation. The important things in this seminar: can the procrastination becomes positive? Yes, I think it could. It could, but let's see how. Okay, procrastination is the art to delay essential activities to the last minute. Why I say the art? Because several people, artists, musicians, doctors, scientists, so many people delay the activities, but there is an important point. There is always a conscious in your back pushing that activity need to be completed. If you don't complete that, you might lose your job or you might not reach one of your personal targets. Well, what happened when you see the procrastination? Okay, you can delay the beginning or the start of the higher education. You cannot complete the thesis. It's common thing happens in my bachelor's degree. Of course, you feel panic, you feel anxiety, you feel guilt. But at the meantime, you start to do several things around that. You start to clean your closet. Okay, of course, you need to write your thesis, but the closet is a mess. And then you prefer to put all your socks or your shirts and your pants in a specific order because that order will help you to deliver a better thesis paper. Is that right? No, I don't think so. It is an excuse. Of course, there are other things that are getting in the middle, like read a book. Yeah, reading a book is fantastic. I love to read books. I think I bought more books that I can read across my life, but I still buying. I put in the library. Sometimes I take one, I read a couple of pages, put inside. Other times, like I did years ago with my favorite author, which is Julius Verne. I read 20,000 feet below the ocean. I think I read that 10 times, 12 times around. But if we come back to the rail, when you start to read a book, what you do is to put the activity to complete your thesis beside, prepare a report. Yeah, you need to prepare a report, but yeah, of course, you bought a book and the book is nice. And then you prefer to read the book instead of giving more time to your thesis. When you start to feel anxious, when the deadline is coming, and the deadline usually cannot move. Why cannot move the deadline? Because those deadlines are set up by your manager, by the industry, by the activities. And also I can confess that it happens to me as well when I have those nice events when you have the press conference and the auditorium full of people, and you know that you need to prepare your presentation and your slides 2 or 3 weeks before. Sometimes I start to prepare or complete the slides the day before. It's not bad, but the panic and the feel of being anxious is killing you. Of course, you need to prepare the report, you need to clean your closet, you need to read the book, but all those things around need to be positive, need to bring you a positive result, unless you want to create a different outcome, meaning drop out from your higher education, meaning not completing the thesis, or don't want to be in the best list of the employees because you don't prepare the report, and maybe you are looking for another job. But I don't think it is a major of the cases when that happens. Therefore, we need to see what is going on and we need to check how to move on. Okay, let's move to the next slide. There is a magic triangle, and the magic triangle is based on the three main things that when you have regarding to a task. Of course, you have in the center of the task, you have the confidence that you can complete the task, and you have the deadline. All those three things can move because usually you are so confident that your skills are above the other people and you can complete the task in a better and shorter time than most of the people that need to do the same. Of course, this is a Dunning-Kruger effect. Could be because you feel that you are better than the others, but the confidence is one of the drivers that push you further to give a shorter time, not better time. It's a shorter time to complete the task. This is wrong as well. I mean, if you don't balance the confidence, the task, and the deadline, you might crash all those three things. Then be careful. Your confidence is good, but don't be so confident that you are over delivering, because in the most of the case it is weird when you are running behind the scenes and you are sharing the things at the last minute. It is crazy, and usually the quality of the report, the quality of the paper, the quality of the work that you are delivering is not the best one. Let's talk about the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa is the famous paint of Leonardo da Vinci. Everyone talk about the Mona Lisa. But what do you think when your deadline is close and you cannot complete the paint? Yeah, you cannot draw a couple of lines and present this. There is a nice history behind the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa was ordered by one of the popes to Leonardo in May, and it is expected to be delivered in October. It's around 5 months cross around. But what happened? Leonardo started to move the deadline. Of course, the Mona Lisa was not delivered in October, and the Mona Lisa was intended to be presented during a big, big gala, a big celebration in the palace. But Leonardo started to move, and move, and move, and move. The point is that the Mona Lisa was finished around 15 years later than the deadline, further the deadline. Then we can't expect doing that. Of course, I think Leonardo was a big genius, and maybe the Pope died, or I don't know the things behind the history, but he completed. It's a masterpiece. But the masterpiece that took 15 years to be completed, you cannot wait 15 years to complete your things. Then the main point here and the main message here is that take care of your deadlines. Prepare all the activities that you need to complete, like a project, and create a small set of achievements. If you need to do an activity, try to divide that activity in small achievements and then release those ones one by one. It will be good when you complete all those ones and you can present as a whole. But if you expect to have a single shot or a big bang delivery and you are not working consistently before the deadline, maybe you are finishing with the left side of the paint that we have in our screen. A couple of lines, not the masterpiece that we have in the left, sorry. You are completing or you are delivering the one that is in the right side of your screen, not the masterpiece in the left side. Okay, let's talk about the motivators. In one side, we have the excuses pushing a procrastinated task, and in the other side, we have the distractions. In the middle, we have the wish, the hope, and the dream. Why the wish, the hope, and the dream? Because everyone that is procrastinating a task always wish to complete before the deadline. They have the hope that their skills are high enough to complete the task, and they dream that they can complete in a shorter time. But of course, you have your mobile. Every time you check your mobile, you're starting to write, and you start to check your Facebook in the social networks. You chat with your friends, maybe you are gaming there, or you are gaming in a console or in a gaming PC or gaming laptop. Of course, the television is not the television that we know 20 or 30 years ago. Is television by like we can say like a subscription that we have right now in Netflix. Soon, Disney is coming, HBO. All those platforms that they have fantastic series. You don't have a commercials, you don't have announcements, you can see a series in a 3 hours straightforward. It's something that I saw some of my friends were writing, and they just, sorry, no, I need to complete the Walking Dead. Bang, 6 hours of television. But why we have those ones in the left side? Because those are negative. There are negative motivators that they are delaying the task, and you have to surf in the web. Oh, what's good? I mean, look at this. What happened to me those days? I was preparing a PhD proposal. Of course, I try to be enrolled in a university soon, but I try to prepare my PhD proposal. I start to search, reading papers, blah 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 blah. 30 minutes. Okay, no. Let's see what happened with the U.S. elections. Bang, 1 hour doing nothing. Or what happened with this thing that you believe that is so important in this moment that it cannot be checked later. 30 minute check-in. Imagine not in my particular case, but imagine a person that start writing a paper or writing a report or doing something special when he believes that the cheetahs in Africa can run faster than 70 miles per hour, and I start to search why. It's a waste of time. Of course, the information is cool and it's nice, but is helping your progress or is helping the activity that you are doing? Of course not. Then let's see what happened with the right side of this diagram or this graph. There are excuses. The excuses are less negative, we can say that. We say that, okay, no, next week we'll start to do that thing because right now I'm tired and I just finished my golf game. I just came and I need to bring the car to the garage. I need to go to the supermarket, anything like that. Oh, no, sorry. No. I'm walking. I need to walk. I'm tired and I cannot start to write right now and start to walk. Reading, very nice. We talked about reading in the previous slide, and we like it how the book is delivered, how the characters, how the things inside the book are nice. Well, next. Oh man, I'm tired. I need to sleep. I, I have to now, I need to have a nap. I need to sleep earlier. And then I start to delay my things. Or the two ones that are my favorites right now. We have a new task, and the important task is getting behind. Or a less complex activity. Your thesis is getting a bit complex, a bit tough, and then you prefer to have a less complex activity, and then you reprioritize activities. Then you want to have a coffee, and then let's take a coffee. Of course, you can take a coffee while you are writing, but no, you are going to a coffee shop because you want to spend a bit of time, you want to have some fresh air, and you go for coffee at 3 p.m. and it's around 6 p.m. and you are still in Starbucks checking your social networks, chatting with your friends, or even watching a couple of episodes in your mobile. Then you are moving to the left side. You are moving to the distractors. Then I want you to check what are the motivators in this graph. Of course, we need to have a high wish, hope, and dream, but we need to focus in the ones that are in the right side of the screen. The ones I call excuses, but those ones are positive. There are three factors. When you are procrastinating a task, of course, you have below is the deadline. The deadline is something that is pushing you to the first factor, which is the deadline wall. And you will be smashed towards that wall if you are not focused and you are not planning the activity as expected. You need to be consciousness. You need to know what are your capabilities, what are your time, how you can deliver the task, and how you can divide those ones. And you need to know the task. Imagine, those days I'm talking a lot about the papers and academics because I love that. But imagine that you need to present to your CEO the GR report and the forecast numbers of Q1 for the next year. Is maybe not a complete task for an experienced person, but imagine that you are giving that to a cadet that is just fresh in the company. You have 2 months and you ask to the boy or to the lady, okay, in 2 weeks, I need the GR numbers and the forecast numbers for the Q1 next year. What I can do? Nothing, because this person don't have the skills at that moment to deliver the task that has been requested. Then you need to be conscious about your capabilities, about the task that is being accepted, because usually you accept the task. Of course, you are in a job and everything else is coming to your desk or coming to your inbox, but you need to know how to do the activity in a reasonable period of time. I'm not expert in physics, but if someone else asks me to prepare a research of condensed matter. Wow, nice. I can do that. Give me 5 years. But this is the deadline of the timeline. You need to be aligned with the expectations of the people that is asking you to deliver those things. And I want to talk about something here that is very interesting. There is a proposal, or there is a situation better. It's a situation when there are not three factors, there are two factors. Two, sorry, I use the two hands. When the deadline wall doesn't exist or is a bit shadowed. Why? When the task is proposed by yourself, then who is controlling the task delivery? You. Who is checking if the task is being delivered? You. Then the deadline wall is a bit borrowed, and then it can be start to move a bit. That's the point that I talk in the first or second slide when we are talking about the higher education, when you are going to start. No, this year, no, because well, I love my family, yeah, and I have a new baby, and I cannot take time right now to start my higher education. Then maybe next year. Well, no, next year, no, because there is a lot of activities in the office, and I might not be able to cope with the activities with the new boy, with the toddler at that moment. And then you start to delay. I mean, you are kicking the ball towards the future. I've been seeing a lot of people that never complete their dreams or their task because they always kick the ball towards the future. Personal advice, check your goals, check your grid. If those activities are related to your grid, to your long-term goals, don't delay those ones. Let's move to the next slide. Okay, let's talk about the prioritization. You remember that we talk about the positive activities, reading, new task, a less complex activity. Let's prioritize those excuses because those excuses will give you progress maybe in another area but are positive. Imagine that you start to complete a new task and instead of going to Starbucks or any other coffee shop, you prepare your own coffee and you take those 3 hours and prepare the activity in front of your computer. You are doing a more positive activity. Of course, it's not a procrastinated one, but it's a new task and it's positive because you are not surfing the web, you are not gaming, you are not checking your social networks, you are focused in some. That is really important. Personal advice, and of course, those words are not coming from me only. There is a good author that I recommend you. It is called Newport. Called Newport is a guy that is talking about deep work, and the deep work is the base of all these recommendations that I am giving to you. Okay, finally, let's talk about the key. The key factor here is the interleaving because you already choose three of the activities that they are more positive than the others, but of course you still have the procrastinated task. You start to have the reading. Let's take a bit of time about the procrastinated task. Is the small gap that we have here. Then you start to do the new task. Of course, those things are positive, those things are good, but uh, those things are training you to give more focus in the important ones. Then you can see in the second time that we see the procrastinated task is getting more time. Then you can start to do the less complex task, which is good, but you are still procrastinating the previous one. Next time, you are giving more importance to the procrastinated, and the reading next time is taking less importance. Finally, all your time is taken for the important task. Then you are positive doing things. All those colored ones, reading new tasks and less complex, are being completed because the ones are giving you satisfaction. But at the same time, you are being trained about those ones. It is really important to understand that the task need to have a deadline and that deadline need to be realistic. Don't try to complete your thesis that is being prepared for 6 months or is expected to complete in 6 months, like an MBA thesis, and try to start to work in 1 or 2 months before the deadline. Then, guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is all today. If you have any questions, please write in the comments. I will answer. I appreciate your time. Very nice to have you here. And also, I'm inviting you to be in our social networks, to visit us in LinkedIn. We have around 96 articles about different topics: leadership, 5G, artificial intelligence, corporate culture. Of course, you can follow us in Facebook, in Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You will have all those videos in YouTube as well. Thank you so much. Have a nice night.